Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're here with the Hag Queen Morathi on foot, who for some reason decided not to wear any shoes. Goodness, Morathi, don't you know you're fighting in the snow? That's terrible. Granted, her feet look kind of nasty. They're all like gray and white and weird looking. They're probably super frostbitten when you think about it. Anyway, a little bit sick, guys, so I apologize for the voice, but we're going to be taking Morathi up against the Warriors of Chaos here, so let's go ahead and jump straight to the army compositions. So, for Morathi, we've got her two debuffs, which is the most important part of bringing Morathi. First of all, on foot, she's got solid combat stats. She'll get knocked around, and she's not going to be subject to an anti-large bonus. So that helps her out a little bit. She herself does have anti-large armor piercing. Pretty solid weapon strength. Not the best, but that bonus versus large of 15 does help. Likewise, she carries a lot of debuffs. So, first off, she's got the Enchanting Beauty that's constant. Area of effect, -9 melee attack, 8% charge bonus, which is very strong. Likewise, if you take this Heartrender and Dark Sword, it gives her an area of effect, -9 melee attack and defense. Granted, she has to be in melee for this one to be active. The Enchanting Beauty is always active, but the Heartrender and Dark Sword, you need to be in melee to proc. We've also got Soul Blight just to synergize even more with the stacking debuffs here. We've got Power of Darkness for additional Winds of Magic, Soul Stealer in case we have to heal Morathi. And we brought the Wand of Caradon, which I probably just mispronounced. It does give her 2 charges of Bound Doombolt, so pretty good at sniping out Lords and or Casters. So yeah, that's about it for Morathi. In terms of the rest of the build, we've got 1 unit of Lizard Limos here, a unit of Blackguard, and Witch Elves as Morathi's escort. Front line is going to be a mix of 4 Blackguard Corsairs and 4 Dread Spears. And the idea here is that the Blackguard Corsairs normally aren't great against armor. They're decent, but they're not the best. But with the stacking armor debuffs, in particular Soul Blight, with the 2 melee attack debuffs, and then as well Spiteful Conjuration. Every time you cast a spell, it's minus 15 armor map wide. So, I mean, in this Soul Blight area of effect, they're going to be totaling minus 45 armor. It'll help these Blackguard Corsairs trade a lot more cost effectively against things like Chaos Warriors, Chosen, and so on. We've also got 2 units of Dark Riders on each flank for a total of 4, 2 here and 2 way out on the far side. Currently opening up shots on my opponent's Death Sorcerer here. He's got Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Kolek and another Shaggoth here for a typical double Shaggoth rush build. Nothing too fancy from Chaos. We've also got a mix of Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons and Chaos Warriors with Halberds. Looks like 3 Great Weapons, 2 Halberds, and we've also got 2 Forsaken hidden in the forest over on the far side. Let's go ahead and kick the battle into full gear, and we'll watch as things unfold. So, first things first, going to be doing a little bit of a skirmish phase. We're going to be pulling up on station with these Dark Riders, trying to shoot in on this Death Sorcerer here. He is going to drop a Fate of Buna on these Dark Riders with the Pewter Crossbows and then charge in on him. That being said, baiting out a Fate of Buna on a 700 point unit is pretty decent. I'd much rather he use it on this unit than, say, like my Blackguard of Nagaron, for example, that are 1300 points. Kolek and his buddy pushing up very aggressively on this flank, trying to push these Dark Riders away. We're just going to pull up and around back this way and get the support of those spears and so on. Kolek won't want to take that engagement head on. Meanwhile, while these Dark Riders are being chased off, my other unit of Dark Riders is able to get a few volleys in here, do a little bit of HP damage to the Death Sorcerer, maybe 20% or more. Pretty solid so far. We are just kind of waiting for the mainline engagement to get underway. You can see I'm kind of positioning my forces in the woods here. As much as I hate to fight in these super dense Nagaron forests, it's obviously going to be in my favor to do so, especially considering that I don't have any real large melee units, meaning that it's going to be beneficial for me, especially fighting the Shaggoths, fighting, the Manticore and so on. It's going to be beneficial to take this engagement in the dense forest here, because of course large units suffer forest penalties, movement, melee attack, and so on. So, see a little bit of sloppy micro for myself, getting these Dark Riders caught, but we are able to do a little bit of HP damage to Kolek, but now just going to pull back away, and my opponent, not wanting to isolate himself in my infantry line, is going to pull back. You can see Chaos Warriors coming up through the forest. We got a quick early charge with those Cold One chariots here, and now this Manticore charging down into the Dread Spears. We're going to immediately respond with Morathi herself. Where's she at? I can hear her yelling about something, but here she comes. So Morathi's going to be coming in here with her little halberd. She does anti-large armor piercing, so I mean, with the debuffs and everything, especially, I mean, you can see this Chaos Sorcerer, it's down to only 22 melee attack, 25 melee defense. So just combat stat wise, he's going to be completely outclassed by Morathi and will get taken down by the anti-large armor piercing. So that's very nice for me. We've also dropped a Soul Blight in this pocket, so you can see. Let's go ahead and just go through all the stacking debuffs here quickly in slow motion. So we've got the Enchanting Beauty and the Heartrender and Dark Sword, bringing these Chaos Warriors with great weapons down to 19 melee attack and 24 melee defense. Likewise, the Spiteful Conjuration stacked with Soul Blight, bringing these guys down to only 55 armor, means that these the Black Arc Corsairs are going to trade significantly more cost effectively here with that nice weapon strength, anti-infantry bonus, and solid combat stats. Yeah, overall, very, very nice. We are able to rout off that Death Sorcerer there, so we're going to drop the one of the procs of Doombolt on him, since he's not we're not able to catch him out on the ground there. But the Manticore is probably fast enough that I don't know that we're going to hit him. Yep, looks like a clean miss there with that Doombolt, unfortunately. That being said, we were able to catch out one of the Shaggoths over on the far side here. We've got it surrounded by Witch Elves and these Black Art of Naggarond as well. So Black Art of Naggarond will start to deal damage, and then as soon as that Shaggoth gets to the enraged threshold, it'll get enraged by the Witch Elves and then not be able to be microed. So very nice catch by me. It's going to definitely be beneficial. You can see all the way across the line through the forest here. We've got Black Art Corsairs fighting up against Chaos Warriors. Can hear a Soul Blight going down, or Soul Stealer, rather. You can see Kolek's made his way over to this side of the line. He's doing some nice damage to the Cold One Chariots. Actually just crushed a unit model there. But now is going to be turning his attention towards Morathi. And the issue with Morathi is that on foot, she's a small target, which means that the splash attacks, the way that splash attacks work in this game, is if there are other nearby targets, the damage is divvied out between them. So what that means is Morathi's not going to take that much damage. Likewise, you know, the stacking debuffs of her being in combat here are debuffing the combat stats of Kolek significantly, meaning her 40 melee defense is suddenly going to be, you know, enough to withstand most hits from Kolek Sun Eater, only 40 melee attack, 42 melee attack. But Morathi getting some nice side stabs in here, kind of poking Kolek in the ribs while he's distracted fighting these Dread Spears and Black Art Corsairs and more. But we've got the Dark Riders in a nice firing position as well. They're getting some volleys in here on Kolek, and he's starting to take a lot of damage between Morathi, the missiles, Soul Stealer, and everything else. We're really, really blending up Kolek, very surprisingly. Morathi did take a couple hits there and a Spirit Leech from the regrouped Chaos Death Sorcerer. Likewise, though, I've got my Lizard Limos regrouped, and although this Death Sorcerer came down, I mean, the Lizard Limos do armor piercing in melee, so they're going to turn around and be able to rout him off without too much trouble. You can see that has tipped the balance of power in my favor initially. We do still have to grind it out with the rest of these Chaos Warriors. We've been dropping that Soul Blight any chance we get. But Morathi did have to pull back because the situation was getting very, very compromised. So we pulled back. Kolek's pathing through very aggressively, but still taking those shots from the Dark Riders. And overall, a good situation for me. Morathi's pulled back into the back line, relative safety. The other Shaggoth was able to be dealt with by the Black Art of Naggarond and the Witch Elves. It did rally and is now coming back. So we're going to bring these elite units kind of up into this pocket to help protect this backline area. Again, just folding back with the Dark Riders. No need to commit to that engagement. Kolek is going to come into this front line and rout off a couple of my units of Black Art Corsairs. But at this point, most of the Chaos front line is very, very tattered. You can see another Soul Blight going down here. Looks like, yeah, so these Chaos Warriors down to, again, only 55 armor. None of the melee attack and defense debuffs in here, but a Soul Stealer going down as well. So that's going to do direct damage to all the units in this pocket. Kolek himself is taking quite a bit of damage, and yeah, it's just a very, very rough situation overall for the Warriors of Chaos. Morathi running in here, you can see her charging through the forest, definitely not wanting to miss out on all the fun. Going to be dropping another Doombolt on Kolek. He's charging through the forest, trying to get on these Dread Spears here, but the fact that he stopped to do that attack animation means he is going to get hit by that Doombolt there. So it did a little bit of HP damage, just enough, I think, to start swinging the balance power more and more. You can see it tipping faster and faster in my favor, so it's going well so far. Definitely going to be able to clean things up. You can see the Chaos front line, despite me having lower tier units, you know, I had more numerous units, and with the debuffs, we're able to deal with the Chaos Warriors, you know, in all forms. And likewise, Kolek himself gets enraged by these Witch Elves and then drops the last of his leadership. So that is going to be game. So, well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. It's a very fun battle. You know, you don't get to see Morathi too often, although I think this Morathi on foot build is pretty powerful, all things considered. You know, with the stacking debuffs and everything, you can make these Black Art Corsairs trade very cost effectively. Most of these guys had one experience chevron at the beginning. In fact, the whole line had one experience chevron at the beginning. You can see several units were able to pick up another XP chevron through the course of the battle. Likewise, these Witch Elves managed to pick up a couple chevrons. No chevrons for the Black Guard, but you know, just the stacking debuffs from Morathi there really able to help those Blackheart Corsairs and the Dread Spears as well. I mean, the Dread Spears didn't get a whole lot of kills, but they're soaking hits, most importantly, and they do get a little bit of damage done. Not the most at the end of the day. Cold One Chariot underperformed a little bit, but Morathi herself and the Dark Riders and everything combining to be able to take down the Sorcerer and Kolek without too much trouble. Kolek himself did get 91 kills, which is pretty impressive. You can see the kill totals for a lot of the Chaos Warriors are pretty nice. 112 here, 93, and those two picked up an XP chevron. The Forsaken didn't end up paying out, and likewise this other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth did not end up paying out. I think that's ultimately what cost my opponent that battle. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this build, about taking Morathi on foot. Makes her a lot tankier, honestly, because she's not susceptible to that anti-large bonus. And again, because of the way splash attacks works, as long as she's standing on top of a friendly unit, you know, the other nearby unit models will divvy up that damage. So I do think that taking Morathi on foot is very viable, particularly in this matchup. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day. So stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.